Hello, hi everybody, Sophie here. How are you? Have not seen this community for quite a while. Have been away, have been in the UK visiting family. And so I haven't done a Monday live stream for a while. Now, what I just wanted to talk about tonight was disease prevention. And there's a very good reason why. Hi, Anne. It's something that's very close to my heart right now because having just come back from the UK, where I spent time with my family and spent quite a lot of time in and out of care homes, care facilities, and nursing facilities. It was it wasn't a wake up call because because I'm fully woken up to this, but it was a stark and deep and profound reminder. Hi, Leah. Hi, Cheryl. Oh my gosh, Cheryl, I'm just talking about it. It wasn't actually a vacation. It was when I went back to see my parents, my mum and dad, that I haven't seen in 2 years because of COVID. And it's the first time that you could travel to the UK without quarantine. And it was just a really stark reminder of what really of lifestyle practices that we can and need to implement right now in order to prevent some of these diseases, many of which I saw when I was in the UK, like literally was like looking into the future and going, oh my gosh, and how many of these different diseases can be prevented with lifestyle changes, which is really, as many of you know, what I am all about. Hi, Angie. Hi, wait a minute, I need to put my glasses on. Hi, Nora. It's Nora and Christy. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. I have a couple of my beautiful clients on tonight, Christy and Cheryl. It's just lovely seeing you ladies that I've got to know so well. How are you doing, Christy? And I haven't seen you a while or heard, we haven't spoken or connected for a while. And Cheryl, I know you're doing absolutely beautifully. I saw your gorgeous recipe that you posted the other day in the group. So that's really what I wanted to just cover tonight. Hi, Marianne. I just wanted to come on and really speak from my heart. Having just been back a few days, just gotten over the jet lag, how vitally important it is that we make these lifestyle changes now. And there's, 5 very simple things, high level things that I want to go over, sort of on a high level. And those of you who have worked with me, my beautiful clients, you're doing this already. So I'm preaching to the choir with you ladies, because you have done this, you're in it, you're doing it, you've just given yourself the greatest gift that you could ever give yourself, dialing in all these incredible lifestyle changes that are, and they are incredible because most people don't do them, and all of them, which is what you're doing, Christy and Cheryl. Hi, Laurie. Hey, Laurie, it's great to see you. Another one of my past clients. This is so great that you're on. Thank you, Pam. That's lovely for you to say. So here's the thing. I've got a question for you. You can never hear it too often, Cheryl. You're right. You can never hear it too often. Ladies, you often hear me talk about, don't wait for the wake up call, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, well, it'll kind of never happen to me, or you push it further down the line. And, you don't have to wait for the wake up call. You can do something now, right now. And what you do today, the lifestyle practices that you put into practice today, will affect tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, as long-term thinking. And our long-term thinking, hi, Juliet, it's lovely to see you, Julie. Our long-term thinking, affects how we live today. So do you, ladies who are watching, do you know people? Have you got family members, friends of family members who have got a disease any kind of disease that could be preventable, um, such as, various cancers, heart disease, kidney disease, liver disease, dementia, let me know. I want to know if you, I'm sure you know people who are suffering. I'm sure you know people who in their later years are not in the best of health. Yeah, exactly, Kelly. Some people don't get the wake up call. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm here to do, to give you the wake up call. It's interesting. I speak to a lot of nurses and people that work in the medical profession, and, they see it. They see it day in, day out. The effects of a lifestyle that has been less than optimal. And now more and more we're talking about lifestyle medicine. You hear the term lifestyle medicine and integrative health, and I think these are sort of fancy words for just, we got to get on with it and integrate these practices into our life right now, not sometime later, and everything that we can possibly do. Angie traveled to Canada. Oh, you went to Banff. Oh my gosh, it's the most beautiful place. I did a retreat in Banff. I don't know if Stephanie BC is on, but Stephanie, oh my gosh, was that amazing? But how beautiful. It was cancelled a year and a half because of the pandemic. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, Angie. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful time. Karen, it's lovely to see you. Yeah, right, Kelly, my twin sister has diabetes, very obese. I love her dearly, but I have to take care of her myself. Right. And you see, here's the thing, absolutely, we love our family members, our friends and family members. They love us, but when they get sick, they become a burden to us. It's not always avoidable, but a lot of it is avoidable. 70 to 80% of diseases are preventable through lifestyle changes. And I think the greatest thing that I hear over and over again is, I don't want to be a burden to people as I get older, And I think, don't you all agree? Isn't that a huge motivating factor? Is just, I don't want to be a burden to those I love. Now, one thing that it's really, really important to understand is that these diseases, such as heart disease, atherosclerosis, and that affects brain health massively, because it's if your arteries are clogged, then your brain blood flow is clogged too. So these diseases start much earlier than we think. When we when we're symptomatic and we're showing symptoms of them, it's long been in the making. And so, we can never start too early. This is for you, but it's also for your loved ones, regardless of how old you are, and your children, right? And your grandchildren, because if you can dial in some of these changes now, and when you're really young, why not? I mean, why not? And the other piece is that if you've got to a stage right now and you're watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, well, is it too late? Have I blown it? Has that ship sailed for me? No, it hasn't, because the beautiful thing is that it is many of these conditions are reversible, such as prediabetes, absolutely, completely, 100% reversible, as is evidenced by many of my clients, right, in my community, my private clients who have done my program. I mean, pre-diabetes numbers have, they're out of that range. Even type 2 diabetes can be reversed. Heart disease now we now know can be reversed. So, many metabolic diseases can be reversed. Metabolic syndrome, issues with liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So there's two pieces here. One is prevention, let's dial it in now, and two is if you have already, if you're already finding some symptoms of disease, it could be inflammation, which is often the first sign that things are going awry. Aching joints, aching, arthritic, there's inflammation in your system. Maybe you suffer from heartburn or GERD or digestive issues. These are not things that you want to throw a pill down your throat or a painkiller and hope that it's going to go away. These are indicative of something that is not quite right and really needs to be addressed. The root cause needs to be addressed. Right. I'm so sorry, Linda. I'm so sorry about that. Michelle, another one of my clients who's actually in my program right now. Michelle, it's so good to see you. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to see you later on this week as well. Lovely, Michelle. Yes, you know what? I don't know who this is because it says Facebook user, because sometimes your name doesn't come up on this platform. But you said, I want to keep my independence. And isn't that true? Isn't it like the most valuable thing that we want to have our independence, and be able to think for ourselves? So anyway, that was a stark reminder for me. Being in the UK, my beautiful father, who's 96, has, advanced dementia. It was extremely difficult, and it was very hard to deal with. And my mum, there's a lot of health issues. And just being around that and being in that sort of, as many of you I know have been in that caretaking role, more than anything, number one, sort of, is not even a tip here. It's like a complete must. And those of you who are in my program, who have done my program, know this, is number one, put yourself first. Put your needs and yourself first. The common thing that I see time and time again, having done this and coached women for years now, is we don't put our needs first for one reason and another. And we get into that in my program because there's a lot of mindset with that, isn't there? That we just don't. And at your peril. Because, I'm grateful that I, have the belief system in place that, I don't believe that it's selfish to put my needs first. It's absolutely imperative. And therefore, I am strong enough and in shape and healthy enough and resilient enough in mind, body, and spirit to be able to really be there for, people in need and for my family. And we need, to be strong. So, that's the first thing is, put your needs first. Because I think as women, as very busy women, as many of us are, many of us have got children, grown-up children, we're empty. Some of us are empty nesters. Some of you are grandparents, grandmothers. Some of you are really hard-working women. Some of you live a lot. It just doesn't matter either way. I think today's modern day lifestyle tends to be a little bit more stressful and tends to be a little more full, and therefore it's really important that we put ourselves first. Okay. Yes, I do have a book. Yes, I do. I have 4 books, actually, Linda. Kathy, hello. It's lovely to see you. Oh, have you here, Kathy? All right. So let's just get into it. I'm going to go over this quite quickly, not too long tonight. So I was just jotting down, this is very high level, the things to really think about in terms of disease prevention. So number one is your weight, right? So weight is directly related to longevity, lifespan, and health. So what does that mean, your weight? So I've written down a few little pieces here. So first off, obesity is linked to so many different diseases, various different cancers, kidney disease, liver disease, and the list goes, obviously heart disease, and the list goes on and on and on. So, for anybody that who's in that range, who's in that sort of obese range, and there's many BMI calculators that you can look up online to find exactly what your BMI is, and from there to sort of deduce whether you're in what category you're in. It's very important to know and understand that. Now, the best available science and studies to date say that a body mass index of between 20 and 22 is normal, is what you want to aim for. You know, the range, the larger range tends to be between 18.5 and 24. But studies show that going more towards the higher end of that range, so going more towards the 24.5, is associated, or if you are at 24.5, it's associated with 2 times the risk of heart disease. So double the risk of heart disease. So that's a really sobering fact, all right? So you really want to be on the lower end of that range, okay? A BMI of 40 or over, and this is studies, show that can take a decade of your life off, just like that, a whole decade, 10 years of life lost for somebody who has a body mass index of 40 or over. And most significant to me, because my father is, has, dementia, is, and actually my father wasn't overweight, but his eating habits, weren't really that healthy. He was very addicted to sugar and dairy products and meat and everything, which is not great in your prevention of Alzheimer's and dementia, to say the least of things. But overweight people, this is in the overweight category, not obese, have a third of a higher risk of dementia. And those who are obese, in the obese category, in midlife, have a 90% greater risk. Okay, sobering fact, right? Those who are in the obese range have a 90% higher risk of dementia as they get older. So this is very... no, I don't think large bones really factors in. I'm just going with the evidence-based science here, and multiple studies, meta-analysis of multiple studies, where all that variability or those variables are taken into account. So this is very important to know. And so, with disease prevention, why, I created my Facebook group, which is Healthy Living and Weight Loss for Women Over 40. And if you're not in that Facebook group, I know many of you are, you can join that group. And I partly created that group to really target that Facebook group, because it's not just weight loss for, feeling lovely, and which, yes, why not feeling lovely and confident and gorgeous, at any age, but also because the healthy living for many, many women, and the weight loss or weight maintenance is very, very important. So to that end, if any of you who are watching have struggled with your weight loss, and you're struggling with your weight loss journey, talk to some of the ladies who have worked with me, Christy, Cheryl, Laurie, a number of women who are on this stream tonight, who have really effectively lost quite a lot of weight in a healthy way, a seriously healthy way. And they have, really, it's pretty significant. So, if you need help with that, if you're stuck on that journey, you can always, book a breakthrough call with me to discuss how I might be able to help you. I may not, but we may not be a good fit, but we might be a good fit. So if you want the link to that, just say link, please, in the comments, and I will go in after and send you a link. So watching your weight, just to sort of tie this point up with a bow, is not just for feeling obviously lovely and confident and having more energy and taking weight off of your joints and your ankles and your back and the whole thing. There's just so many benefits to being in that ideal, BMI range. But it is also very, very much connected with disease prevention, and all kinds of diseases, as I've laid out: kidney disease, liver disease, metabolic disease, cardiovascular disease, and many other different cancers as well. So let's make that a priority to make sure that we are all moving towards our ideal weight. Number 2 is sleep. So sleep is very, very important in terms of, disease prevention. Sleep isn't just some passive thing that, we just go to sleep and sort of reboot. Hi, Nan. Oh, thank you, Christy. That's so sweet of you to say that. Thank you. And still going strong. I know, and I hope, Christy, I'll hopefully see you in that glow up group. So sleep is very important. And when we're in menopause, we tend to, our sleep gets a little bit more interrupted because of hot flashes and hormone fluctuations and whatnot. And there's things that you can do for that. But sleep, is important because it's not just, oh, I get to sleep and refresh myself. A lot goes on when you're sleeping. Sleep, really deep and proper sleep, is how your brain gets cleaned out, which is very, very important in terms of your preventing dementia and Alzheimer's. And it's also very connected to weight loss as well, and many other things as well. So, when this isn't a great big live stream on sleep, but suffice to say that modern day life is not in our favor, is it, when it comes to sleep? Because our natural circadian rhythms should be that we go to sleep when the sun goes down and wake up when the sun goes up. It's really pretty much that simple. And now we have artificial lighting since the advent of electricity, and that doesn't happen. Now, are we all going to go to sleep when the sun goes down at 6 or 8 p.m.? Very unlikely for most of us because of our lifestyles. That would be unrealistic. But what can you do to start dialing in a little bit earlier? What can you do to start really thinking about that? And at the very least, turning off all screen activity, TVs, blue lights, phones, iPads, all of that business. Just get rid of that light, as much as that artificial light as possible, because that interrupts your natural circadian rhythms. And that is, obviously, your pineal gland stimulates melatonin, which makes you want to go to sleep. And with all the light coming in all the time, and you're sitting under the artificial light, which we all do, it's just not doing you any favors. So have a really good long think about that. It's very, very important. Number 3 is nutrition. So obviously, nutrition is the heavy lifting. 80% of it is nutrition. Food is medicine. And those ladies, Christy, Cheryl, Laurie, who's ever on this stream who has worked with me, you have dialed in your nutrition. You know every little bit about best case optimum nutrition for health and disease prevention. And, that is the most important thing, because it's more important than exercise for both for weight loss and for disease prevention. The heavy lifting is the nutrition. Exercise is important, but, if you had to pick one, I would dial in your nutrition first. Eating a wide variety of whole plant foods is really what we're talking about here, because crowding out your diet with those foods is going to be your vitamins, your naturals, your vitamins, your minerals, your antioxidants. So the more you eat, the more you crowd out the foods that are causing you inflammation, such as the meat, the dairy, the processed foods, the foods with additives in that are literally causing inflammation in your body, and obviously not doing any favors for your figure either, for your weight, your waistline, or your disease prevention. So that really is important. Now, is it easy to do this 100%? Is it easy to dial it in 100%? And many women say to me, do I need to do it 100%? Do I need to go in 100%? Up to you. Some of you remember a live stream that I did with Dr. Scott Stoll, who's amazing, who teaches, has big medical conferences for doctors. And I did a live stream with him a few months ago, and somebody asked that very question in this community. And they said, Dr. Stoll, can I not just do 80-20, with the kind of, whole food plant-based? And he said, well, it's up to you. He said, you absolutely can, but do you want 80% optimal health or do you want 100%? And I think that was such a great answer because, you know, when you're younger, maybe you would go, well, I'll go with 80%, and you can get away with a lot more when you're younger because your digestive fire is stronger, everything is operating better, your detoxification pathways, etc. But certainly over the age of 45, when your hormones change and things break down and start to slow down, then, you know, in my book, why not go for 100%? You know, why not? Seriously. You know, so yeah, that's really, truly, that's, you know, a really, really, you have to ask yourself what you want. Ask yourself how much you want. And then, you know, there's a price to pay. You know, but there's a price to pay for your dream. There's a price to pay for what you want. And if the price to pay is that you pay it now by dialing it in, by committing to do what needs to be done, then, you know, the results are priceless. And so, you know, obviously as a nutritionist, I can bang this drum and do bang this drum very, very hard. And those of you who work with me know that it's not easy, but it's 100% doable. And the results are absolutely priceless. All right, so that was number 3. Number 4 is exercise, and exercise is very important as well. There's specific kinds of exercise, which I can't really get into now in the interest of time, but as we get older as women, there's certain exercise that is better than other exercises. Those of you who have done my program know exactly what I'm talking about, but dialing in and, you know, again, it's like, how much, you know, do we do? So do you do the minimum as recommended by, you know, the CDC or, you know, various, whether it's the Diabetes Association or the Heart Association, and many different sort of health professionals will give you the sort of bare minimum, which is, I think, I don't know, like 30 minutes of walking a day, or, you know, moderate walking a day or something like that. Or I think it's not even that, it's like 3 or 4 times a week. But really, I mean, what if you could have a strong, lean body as you get older, a stronger body as you get older? I mean, hello, Cheryl, if you're still on, wow. I mean, you're somebody who's really like the poster child for that, of keeping your body really, really strong and dialing this in, you know, in your 60s. So, I mean, just so doable and exciting and aspirational. And I love it. I love seeing women in their 60s and their even 70s, you know, who really decide to dial this in and get in the best shape of their life. It's never too late. And then, you know, number 5 is mindset and stress reduction. And the two, in a way, are a little bit different, because one is dialing down your stress, because, you know, you can have all these other pieces dialed in, but if you are really stressed out, you know, from morning to night, either because of your lifestyle or your job or whatever, you know, that is going to cause inflammation in your body, and it's going to cause cortisol levels to rise, and it's going to really obviously affect everything. You know, our body wants to be in homeostasis and balance, and if you are having these stress hormones just raging through your body all the time, you could have the, you know, the best nutrition in the world, and that will help offset a little bit, and exercise and whatnot, but truly you're going to pay a price. So, you know, what do you do, ladies? What do you do for your stress reduction? You know, what are you dialing in every day? You know, what needs to happen to take that stress down? You know, yes, there's meditation, absolutely, Pam. You know, there's meditation, there's breathing, and there's many different techniques. But then there's mindset as well. And finally, I wanted to finish with the mindset piece, because the mindset piece is everything. And for those ladies, you know, who work with me, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the mindset is the biggest piece, because everything downstream, if your mindset isn't dialed in, so that you are really connected with your best self, and you really believe that you can have that. And it takes a little bit of work to clear out, right? Those of you who work with me, to clear out those limiting beliefs, the trash, the mind trash. Sometimes it takes some digging, and it takes some help doesn't it? To really get that mindset strong. Certainly that's been the work of a lifetime for me. And it affects your every waking moment, you know, the thoughts that are going through your head, the beliefs that you hold about yourself and the world and everybody else. But if that's not dialed in and that doesn't align with who you want to be and where you want to go, everything downstream of that is not going to be as dialed in as you would work. It sort of tends to fall apart at the seams. Yeah. And it is about loving yourself. Yeah. But, you know, specifically, how do we do that, Kathleen? And that's really where, you know, the rubber meets the road, you know, loving ourselves and putting ourselves and our needs first. So, yeah, yes, Maureen, you do. You absolutely have that gift. And I love it. And I love that you bring that, Maureen, to this community and you're always sort of lifting everybody up. It's really beautiful. And it's just a lovely, lovely gift. So, Laurie, hi. Yeah, mindset, Christy, right, 100%. All right, so ladies, lots of other under the umbrella of weight loss, sleep, nutrition, exercise, stress reduction, and mindset. There's 6 things there. You know, there's a whole sort of world to be opened up, a whole beautiful Pandora's box to be opened up for sort of best practices. But I wanted to just jump on and really share tonight my passion for this, because it's always been my passion. Those of you who have been following me for years and years and seeing, you know, some of the work that I've done from the very first book I wrote right up until this moment is about, you know, putting ourselves first and putting our health first and really dialing that in so that we can be a gift and we can be of service to those around us. And in doing so, the beautiful win-win is that we get to heal ourselves, help and heal those around us, heal the world, you know, and the planet, because through the lifestyle practices that certainly I talk about and advocate for, it is a beautiful, kind way of living where you're kind to your body, you're kind to animals, you're kind to the environment, you're kind to other people. And it's that kindness. I think it was Kathleen that said it's about loving ourselves. And it is ultimately about kindness, you know. So that's really what we're talking about. And I think this is very lost sometimes sight of, you know, in today's society, when if we've got a lot of stress, if we've got a lot of pressure, you know, we lose that connection to that beautiful tenderness and that softness with ourselves and what we can do, you know, to help, you know, others and to help the planet from really dialing in at this heart, this beautiful heart level. So that's what it's all about. Oh, thank you, Leah. You're so sweet. Yes, absolutely, Kelly. You're so right. All right, my lovely ladies. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I think we've got slated some lovely guests coming on various live streams, Monday live streams. Unfortunately, I can't do every Monday because I'm quite busy and dialed in working with my beautiful clients. But you know, just keep your notifications turned on in both the healthy living and weight loss. Some of you said there was a problem with notifications, so make sure that you've got your notifications switched on my Facebook, YouTube, and that group, the healthy living and weight loss for women over 40, because then you'll get notification when I'm going live. And so I don't want you to miss that, because sometimes we've got some sort of surprise things coming up in the future. We do, by the way, have a beauty box coming up shortly in the not too distant future. I know a lot of you send me private messages going, when is the next beauty box coming out? And there is one coming up really shortly. And again, as I said, if you are struggling and you need help, just pop in here and just go link, please. and I'll pop the link in for you. So you could always jump on a breakthrough call with me, and we could see if I can help you, to dial some of these pieces in. But have a wonderful, wonderful week. Take care of yourself. Put yourself and your needs and your health first. That was my big wake-up call. And my prayers go out to any of you who are suffering, who have friends and family who are suffering, who you're looking. I know a lot of you are caretakers for people who are unwell and who are really, really suffering. So my heart goes out to you and your loved ones, and just have a oh yes, Maureen, the tahini goddess, amazing. Yes. Oh my gosh, that tahini is so amazing. So we try to bring those people to you, as because she's amazing, isn't she? And her products are incredible. So have a wonderful week. And I will see you all very, very soon. Good night. Good night.